Hey everybody, welcome back to another Merly on Time Beyond the Watch episode. In these episodes, I talk to my favorite YouTube content creators, and the hope is that after this conversation, you'll get to know them a little bit more beyond the watch. Now, the fellow that I have on today, how would I describe him? Eccentric. He's just very cool, super creative, phenomenal creative. I'm going to play one of the videos sometime along this little talk that we do. One of the videos that he did is my absolute favorite. And he's not a watch snob. He's not one of those. Hey, his name is Bill. Here he is from Not a Watch Snob. How is Bill today?
Good. I'm wearing my Tony Soprano shirt. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. That's all you need.
Tony Soprano. Are you rocking? What are you rocking on wrist then with the Tony's? Are you really?
Yeah.
Nice. He's got
full Tony.
Nicely done. Pimping it up. That is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
So welcome to this episode, and thank you for taking the time to do it. I do have to say that I think you are one of the most underrated YouTube channels that I watch. I just love what you do. You make me laugh all of the time.
Thank you.
You're super creative, and I kind of watch and go, how in the heck does he do this? He gets a watch review in and out within a few minutes. You pack it in. It's awesome. I love it. The unique way that you do it. The pros and cons of this watch are as follows. And I wish I could do my videos a little bit shorter, because I know, my reviews are like 15 minutes long at least. And of course, people only watch about 3 minutes of it.
It's depressing when you look at the watch time. On the algorithm, you're like, oof,
Yeah.
People are their attention span. I mean, if you think about it, I have ADHD. That's why I make my videos so short. I physically don't have the attention span to even watch my own videos. So it's just...
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And so what got you into... We'll do watches first, then we go beyond the watch. What got you into watch collecting, and then what made you decide I want to start a YouTube channel? And congrats, I just noticed not too long ago you just squeaked past 2,000 subscribers. So way to go, man.
Good. Thank you. It was a tough road. I got into watches by, weirdly enough, it kind of comes down to ADHD. I had a grandfather on my dad's side I didn't know. He passed down like a Timex, and I was disrupting class. And at one point I was like, you know what, maybe I got to do something about this. So I'd take a few seconds, I'd stare at the watch, and I'd count the second hands go around, and then I'd take a few deep breaths and kind of recenter myself a little bit more. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So it kind of got me into curiosity about watches. And then my grandfather, who I live with, was like, I got this old watch in the drawer, you can take it. And it was an Omega. And I knew nothing about watches, so I'm wearing this gold Omega to Boy Scouts, and I'm beating the crap out of the thing, and I'm like,
wow.
I'm thinking it's a Timex, so I'm wearing it around, and someone called me out and said, do you know anything about the watch you're wearing? I'm like, no. He says, do some research. And that's what got me into watches.
So was that Omega, was it a mechanical, or was it a quartz watch?
It was a mechanical from the 1960s. It was an Omega Seamaster DeVille. Gold 14, or I think it's 14 karat gold filled. Yeah.
Wow. Do you still have that one today?
Oh yeah. And pinnacle in the collection.
And it's still working good.
It works perfectly. It's got the mother of pearl dial. It's just an overall great watch.
Wow. So you're wearing. How old are you when you're wearing it and going to Boy Scouts or whatever, Cub Scouts, whatever you?
Middle school, so I was or not middle school, middle school. I was probably
12, 11, 12,
whatever you
13.
are, 6th grade, 7th grade, Yeah, had no clue. So, a babysitter of mine was like, do you know what kind of watch you're wearing? And that's kind of what sparked I was like, all right, let me look it up. And I'm like, oh shoot, these are pretty expensive.
And so what's the condition of that watch right now? Is it Did you
I
bang it
had
up
to get
some,
it
or did you
redone.
have it serviced?
Yeah,
What's
I had it serviced and I had to get it the crystal was all beat up and it was just beat up because I didn't know anything about watches. I'm diving with it and doing stupid shit with it. And so I brought it to this old guy and he fixed it up. It looks perfect now. So I now I don't touch it. I keep it the way it is. I wear it for special occasions and that's
Yeah,
kind of it.
that
You know?
is amazing. And so it's a
Yeah.
1960 something.
1962-ish. Yeah, and there's a cool story behind it as well. That
Tell
maybe
me.
I shouldn't say on the podcast, but there's a cool story where my
Oh,
grandfather got it. He got it from a very famous mobster around here who owed him money and gave him a watch that
oh,
fell off the truck. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It has the
That
original price tag and everything, the original band, the alligator band and everything. It's cool. It's a cool,
wow.
piece of history.
So when you got it serviced, did you got a new crystal on it? And
I
or
don't
what
know if
did you?
I believe they just polished the crystal because there's still some dings and scratches in it that he couldn't get out.
Right.
Yeah.
But you didn't need to have the movement serviced or whatever.
Nope. He put some more. He greased the rubies and stuff like that. Put some more grease in there, and he couldn't save the second hand fell off and it snapped in two. So he couldn't save the back part of the second, like the back part of the second hand, the counterweight. So
Yeah.
it just kind of has but it still works.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Wow, man, that's a special one for sure.
definitely, definitely.
And so the YouTube channel,
Mhm.
how long have you been doing the YouTube channel and highs and lows, why you started it, what you hope
Yeah.
to do with it? Just describe that because I do love seriously, man. Like there's a few channels I don't miss videos. There's a bunch that I'll watch if whatever they're showing interests me. I don't miss any of yours, man. I don't
I
comment on them
appreciate
all,
that.
but I don't miss any of them. I think they're
I
awesome. I
appreciate
love them.
that.
So
Thank you.
yeah, tell me about it. When you started and why and et cetera,
Yeah,
et
I've
cetera.
always been creative. I like creating things, making little videos, and having fun and entertaining people. So I started really diving back into watches because there was a time period where I just didn't give a crap anymore. I kind of just didn't want to collect, and I just kind of had watches. And then I got back into it because I was bored. It was like right towards the beginning of COVID.
Ah,
I was getting bored, and I'm like, maybe I should get back into watches. So I started diving back into it, and I fell in love with it. Started watching YouTube videos, and I started watching like Jory Goodman and like the big ones.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, these guys kind of suck. I mean, some of them are kind of boring, and like I was like, a video would have like 10,000 views, and it'd be a guy. So I'm understanding, like it was like, like it would put me to sleep at some point. So I'm going, you know what? There's got to be a better way. Like there's got to be something that's more entertaining and more like storytelling based, because that's the beauty of watches to me is the story behind them and
Right.
why you like it, what you don't like about it. So I said, let me do my own thing. Let me start my own channel.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
what's it been like? I started around the same time, I guess, during COVID.
yeah,
Um, and I don't have any blingy watches. And I just kind of started it as a budget watch thing, and for the most part, it still is.
yep.
I'm rocking my Christopher Ward though. I did
Woo,
get
my boy,
yeah,
my boy.
and but I do agree because I want to talk to you about the watch snob aspect. So why did you call it not a watch snob? Uh,
Because there was plenty of times when they'd say this is a shitter or that's a shitter, and I feel like no one really has the authority to say anything's a shitter, in my opinion. Like, I mean, there's watches where I don't like I
yeah,
personally don't like this watch, but I would never say like devalue it to another person. If that's what they like, that's what they like.
yeah. So
So, it, I was sick of seeing people being like watches that I had. People would be like, "This is the one," blah, 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 blah. And I was like, "Well, I want to do something different."
yeah, yeah, and different you do, and I got to give you some props because in one of you really inspired me. I play a little bit of music,
Okay.
and I'm a hack, a little bit of a hack, I guess.
Me too.
But I sing. I do some leading in church services, and but I
Okay.
did the video. I did. I'm trying to remember what I did. Oh, the $100 watch challenge is an example of one, and I did a. I rewrote the words to the Adele song "Hello." I don't know if you saw that, but
Parodies. Oh yeah.
yeah. And but I totally derived my inspiration to do that from you,
I
and from
appreciate that.
and some of the parodies that you did. One of my favorite ones being the the one on Teddy Baldassar. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna kind of do an edit during the editing, but I'm gonna show that video right now. This is one of my favorites from Bill's channel, Not a Watch Snob. I don't. What's the title of that video? Do you remember? I can't remember the title.
I think I just did Baldassar. Do 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 do. Like,
Baldassar. So this is a little bit of a parody that Bill does with Teddy Baldassar. Enjoy.
Are you looking for some straps? His content's always hot. Watch reviews on replay, wish I could afford one. Teddy's known for fashion, steps up for the line. Reliable reviews, checking out that Seiko 5. Teddy preaches words of comfort, Courtney's nice in the eyes. Collectors going apeshit, is that the new Omega line? Baldassar. Baldassar, Baldassar. Making me crazy, he's making me crazy. Every time I look around, his channel's great.
Yeah, so that particular video, and you've done other ones,
Yep.
and forgive me, I can't recall them all right now.
That's fine.
But that one, man, did that make me laugh. And then I thought, when I had this $100 watch challenge, I knew that the watch that I picked a Timex Expedition North Sierra. Beautiful field watch, white dial, fantastic watch. It's got the Indiglow on it. Looks like a Hamilton, looks like an expensive one. But I knew it wasn't going to like necessarily win this contest.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to do something, to just kind of, other than the watch, I just wanted something on the video to stand out. And so I did the I did the introduction playing the piano. I'm a hack at the piano. I'm a little better on guitar, but I did it was totally, I'm like, well, Bill does these parodies. I'm going to do one too. And so I did it too. Yeah.
It's fun. It's creative. And the beauty of it. So the reason why I do parodies, truthfully, is I think I'll be doing a video and I'll be like, this song would be perfect in this video.
Yeah.
But you can't do it with copyright laws in YouTube.
Yeah.
So to get around copyright laws legally, if you use parody law, you can use whatever you want as long as you're parodying it and using social commentary.
And fair use or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. So I can monetize, and also this song would be perfect, but I can't legally use this song, so I'll just come up with my own lyrics.
Yeah, and I've got one coming up. Do you find it like, what's your upload schedule? You try and do one video a week. Every time I say I'm going to drop a video here and drop a video there, it doesn't end up coming for like a month or two, and I'm like, I got to stop making promises because it's hard. Sometimes to find time to upload. But what's your regular, like, or what do you try and do schedule wise for that?
So usually I do it every Friday at like 5 a.m. Because I figure Friday, Saturday, people are doing something, doing nothing Saturday and Sunday. So maybe they'll, as the weekend progresses.
Oh, you mean you upload it you don't work on it on Friday at 5 a.m.?
Oh, I work on it Friday at 5 a.m. I upload it Friday at 5 a.m. But I also work on them every Friday. Is my day to work on YouTube videos.
Okay.
But I also try my hardest to do about 7 or 8 at once, if that makes sense. So I'll do one and I'll upload them and keep them in the back burner. So then I'll take a week off, or maybe 2 weeks off or 3 weeks off of just I know they're there and I don't have to worry.
I wish I could. My pal Watching James, shout out to Watching James. He's like, yeah, I've got my he did this video with me. He wanted me to do a funny spoof on why it's not good to wear. Well, he was doing a video on leather straps, and it was summertime in Australia. It was wintertime here in Canada, and I assume in Boston it would have been. Did you guys have a decent winter this year? Ours was kind of like a blizzard every month, and then,
Really?
and then we had it was like one snowstorm, and then it thawed, and then another snowstorm a few weeks later, and it thawed. But I know in like where you are in Boston area, did you guys get any snow this year?
We got like no snow this year. We had like one, and they'd say it would be a big snowstorm, and it was literally just like flakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I did this thing with James where I had this big snowbank in behind me because it was during the snowstorm, and you know why it was perfect weather for wearing a leather strap and the stainless steel, and just a funny spoofs, and I have derived a lot of those kinds of things from watching guys like you who are doing creative things that are a little outside of what the normal envelope for a watch review would be. I've got one coming up that I'm going to parody I'm drawing a blank. Sometimes I feel like I don't need a partner. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Like I don't have
the Red Hot Chili. Yeah, and so I'm going to be doing what my unworn watches. What do my unworn watches think, and what would they say about the fact that they're not being worn?
I like that. The perspective of the watch.
The perspective of the watch, yeah. And I'm doing it to the tune of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Under the Bridge is the actual title of that song, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
into the box I go. Yeah. You could have so much fun with that.
Well, the chorus line on mine is under the watch box lid. Under the watchbox lid. So I've come up with some lyrics, but I find it it's just bloody hard for me. I can't wake up at 5 a.m. and do it.
Really?
Oh gosh, no. I work afternoons, so I get home close to 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And I don't get to sleep straight away.
That's fair.
And so I try and do some stuff Sunday afternoons after my church service while I'm at my office. That's where I am right now doing this. I got another watch review to do that I don't know if I'll get to after we're done our talk. And I was supposed to get it out like yesterday or the day before. But watching James jumping back that long trail back to him. He's like, he did that video of me in the snow, and the snow had melted. It was spring here, but he had it so far in advance. He's like, I'm 3 months in advance or some crazy. I'm like, how in the heck are you? I would love to be able to do that, but
it's persistence. You got to find the time to just get it all done. I have one day off a week where it's Fridays, and that's at least I try to make that my day to do nothing but YouTube stuff until I go to bed.
Yeah. And what's what keeps you motivated to keep doing it? Because it's obviously not the money.
No, definitely not the money. I don't know. It's just fun for me. I don't know. It's like an outlook.
Yeah, I'm the same. As long as I keep having fun doing it, and I don't really have a lot of pressure on myself. I just got to stop saying this drops this. I just got to stop promising when things are going to drop, because I have no idea sometimes when it's going to happen.
Sometimes you can tell in my videos sometimes if it's like I am wicked passionate and have like an idea that I really want to have fun with, and sometimes when it's just like I phoned it in. And it seems weirdly enough the phone-ins do better than the ones where I'm like, I really wanted to do this. It's weird how that works.
Well, and that's the other thing, and I don't know if you found this to be true with your particular channel, but the more I upload, like if I got to a point where I'm doing, 2 or 3 a week, I've done some shorts this week because they're quick and easy to do, and I thought, I'm going to do a wrist roll, on my top box. I did a State of the Collection on already. Yep. But the more I upload, the the less growth I get.
Yes.
If I sit on it for 3 weeks and like if I don't upload for 3 weeks, all of a sudden by week 3 I'm like boom, 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 I'm getting new subscribers and I'm like I'm not doing anything. How in the heck does this make any sense?
I think it has to do with the fact that when you upload more videos, it doesn't give enough time for people, because people are busy. It doesn't give enough time for everybody to watch it, to keep up with you. You got to make it seem like, you got to have a leeway for them to be able to also catch up and do what they got to do.
Yeah, it's I got a buddy who he did some shorts. One of his shorts went viral and he got like thousands of subscribers as a result of it.
Bullshit.
And it's like, I'm going to be doing another video that I really hope will, and I don't know copyright wise, like if I were to use another content creator's, a clip from his video, is that, do you know much about this? Like, is it fair?
As long as you're using it it's fair use, as long as you're using it for not to,
Okay. So do you remember, or did you ever see the video? And I'll say, I'm planning on doing this. I don't know when it's going to happen, but the, Alpha M and the whole five reasons why movement is better than Rolex.
Yeah.
So
I did see that.
You remember
That's
that one?
That's the guy who's, he's like the jacked guy, right?
Yeah, alpha male, yeah. And so anyway, I'm gonna do one. 5 reasons why Pagani design is better than Rolex.
You should make fun of him to a T, like dress in like a muscle shirt and just get the whole energy going. I'm
gonna try and plan on doing a parody of Alpha M as best I can on that
would be
one.
The best. You gotta get like pec implant, like fake, like what I'm talking about, like put shirt in here to beef yourself up. That would be hilarious. I friggin' love that.
Yeah, I don't know. Gosh, where I live, I don't know where I would find something like that, or you can just use pillows or some stupid.
That's what I'm saying. Just use a pillow or a shirt and just literally make yourself look like barbaric, like a chimpanzee, sort of.
I should, yeah. And it's one of those ones where I'm gonna do like the reasons are obviously ridiculous, and I'm not making an effort to promote Pagani design. It's just a complete parody video. But I'm hoping, because it's got Rolex and Pagani design and Alpha M in the title, that maybe I'll get some more views for it or something, But like you say, it's so hard to figure out what works and what doesn't. And
I have 27,000 views on one video. It blew up. And it was literally a video that I thought was just a throwaway. It was a $2 find on friggin' Amazon. Like, I was like, what the frig is going on?
So what was it?
It was called, Jesus Christ, what was the name of it? Olives.
Oh.
What's the name of it? Yeah. Olives. I made fun of like their lack of knowing English. Like I probably shouldn't have done that, but like they have this whole like intro on their website that's like riddled with just like mistakes. Not even spelling mistakes, just grammatically, it's ridiculous. Like, for you should find watch like these watches. Like, it just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay. Yeah, and it's weird, and but I'm not doing it I'm just doing it for fun. Trying to figure it out. I stopped doing that because something can hit, something can miss, and
it's a gamble.
Whatever. So I got a question. We're going to continue to talk about watches for a couple more minutes. We're 23 minutes in. This is from my buddy Watch62.
Okay.
And shout out to Watch62. Go check him out.
Good guy.
And he says this, and remember I said this was somewhat related to your mistakes video, the mistakes in watch collecting that you made. I can't remember the title, but so he says, if you had a chance to do your watch collection over again, what would your starting 5 be? Or would you keep it the same?
Okay. So my starting 5 would be, so I can take back any watches that I've sold or whatever.
You're starting you're starting all over again. What would you be doing differently, I guess, and what would your starting 5 be? Yeah.
So if I could do it all over again, I'd get back all the watches that I friggin' sold off. And I would take back, I'd probably obviously keep the Rolex. I'd probably keep the Breitling, and I'd probably I liked my Bell & Ross, and the Hamilton Ventura I still have, but I would definitely keep that as well. And I'd also find watches that have more meaning than just like name brand recognition, you know?
Yeah.
So
you had, what Breitling did you have? I love Breitling.
I had the Breitling Avenger Seawolf.
Ooh.
Yes,
nice.
It was a great watch. Now, I want to do a video, speaking of creativity, this summer. I got to figure out how I'm going to go about this, but I want to do a video where I buy a Breitling, and you know how they go 10,000 feet underwater?
Some, yeah.
Well, I want to buy the Avenger Seawolf that goes 10,000 feet underwater. I want to wrap a rope to it, and I want to drop it in the middle of the ocean with its rope and see if I can get 10,000 feet down. I don't know if I can. I don't know how deep the ocean is in Boston, but see if I can get 10,000 feet down, see if it still works, and pull it up. And if it doesn't work, I'm literally just going to call Breitling. About 10,000 feet, you said.
Was the crown screwed down? I
think that'd be an interesting video.
It totally would.
Yeah.
I had, like, how in the heck would you, you'd have to have some sort of apparatus to measure it as it's going down, like the depth.
Exactly. I looked it up. There are like fishing lines and fishing things that will tell you how far it's going down as it goes. So yeah. I have a boat. I'm going to go do all that.
That's got to be a huge, like, just if you use like a fishing rod, like that's got to be a massive spool.
I haven't figured out yet. That's going to be a tough one. But
I would imagine you'd have to probably put some more weight to it than would be just the watch itself, just so that it actually sinks and doesn't sway with the tide or whatever, right?
Exactly. I do have to weigh it down, definitely, and I'm just going to go for it. See how far down it goes until it doesn't work anymore.
What? How the heck are you going to know?
When I pull it up.
Well, what are you going to drop it 5,000 feet, bring it up? If it's working, drop it 6,000 feet, bring it up? Like, that's what I mean.
I'm going straight for the 10.
You're just going to go right down.
Once it hits the 10, I'm going to say, all right, let's reel her back in.
Leave it there for a couple minutes. That's wild.
Yeah, that's my game plan.
Very, very cool. What's one of those go for right now? About 3,000 US?
Like, honestly, you can get them like pre-owned for like 1,300 to 1,700, just depends, you know.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't get it brand new. I feel like brand new would be just a waste of money. I mean, not that I'd be already wasting money anyway, but at least 1,600's more.
Yeah.
If I lost it, I'd be upset, but I wouldn't be like.
Can you imagine? Yeah, your reaction to like reeling it up? Oh, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000, and then it's just the weight at the end of the line. Watch is gone.
That's one expensive shark.
Oh my goodness, that sounds pretty cool.
I think it'd be a fun video.
Yeah. It's not unlike some of those G-Shock ones that you see where they run over it with a dump truck or some stupid thing like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So what is your favorite watch? Either let's do that you own and that you would like.
Favorite watch I own would have to be my grandfather's Omega is definitely a favorite, you know.
Yeah.
And then like non-sentimental wise, the Hamilton Ventura. I love that watch.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And one that you don't own, that you know, that is something that, you know, if you get it's going to be a favorite that you keep for a long time or forever.
That's so tough because it changes like by the day.
Yeah.
Probably I really want a Rolex day-date gold, like the presidential. Really want one of those. But since I don't have $36,000 lying around,
yeah.
I figure realistically, there's this watch called Eventi. They make these full sapphire watches, and they're pretty cool. I would want one of those.
Do you know if is that one of the ones that like Conor McGregor, the UFC fighter, he had a crazy like all crystal type of watch. Maybe it was the same one. It was like his was like $1 million watch though, or something crazy like that.
That was the Millionaire watch. That's by Jacob & Co. This one, producer Michael did a video on them. They're blue sapphires, and then they make the white sapphire as well. And I believe the bald guy, what's his name? Freaking Kevin O'Leary. Speaking of Canadians, by the way, but Kevin O'Leary did a video of one as well.
And what are they worth? The ones like that you would like?
$6,000.
$6 grand?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're not. I mean, that's a lot of money, but they're not crazy six figures or whatever.
Yeah. Which a lot of the full sapphire watches are in the six-figure range. So $6 grand is a lesser of two evils.
Yeah, I guess. So we're 30 minutes in. I want to do just get beyond the watch again, and this is I've said this before, a completely self-indulgent exercise. I don't care if anyone watches these videos. I just enjoy getting to know people and getting to know people like yourself that I enjoy watching videos of. And so when we do watch reviews, we always go over the basic specs of the watch. So what are the basic specs of Bill?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the watch. Basic specs of Bill. I'm just your regular guy, 5'5", Italian. I don't know what else to say. I guess I enjoy watches. I enjoy being creative. I enjoy working my ass off. Yeah.
So you live in Boston. Were you born and raised in the Boston area?
Born and raised outside of Boston, and right on the beach. Great town, Marshfield. And I lived in Vermont for a little while, and I was as close to Canada as I came. And that's kind of it. Yeah. Okay.
And so you went to high school in the Boston area.
Yep.
What about your family life? Are you married? Are you single? Are you
single?
Yeah.
Painfully single. No, not painfully. I do okay. But single, and I was engaged at one point. That was a fun time. My family's good. I got a sister. I got a dad and a mom. They're together. They're retired in Florida. So that's like the worst thing ever, to get texts when they're on the beach enjoying themselves while you're freezing your ass off up in Boston.
Yeah. How often do you get down to see them?
Never. No, I never have time to go see them. They come up and visit during the summer sometimes.
Oh, you're going to have to make time in the winter then, man, and get down there.
I know. I avoid Florida, to be honest with you. It's not my scene.
No way?
Yeah. Not my scene.
All right. And why? Why isn't it for you?
I hate Floridians. I don't know if you've ever been to Florida, but Floridians are the worst people to deal with. They're like just so annoying and just like gross. I don't know if that makes, that sounds mean, but it's just like some guy with no teeth comes up to you and I'm like, what?
I've been to Florida 3 times.
Okay.
Family vacations. Of course, we did the theme park thing.
Of course.
Disney, everything like that. My wife, her dream would be to become snowbirds, like when we're ready to retire, if that's possible, and spend our winter months down there.
Yep, that's what my parents do. They snowbird it.
Oh, okay. So they don't. Yeah. They're not permanently in Florida.
No, not permanently. They come up, stay at our beach house during the summertime.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So if Florida's not your kind of place, obviously you like the Boston area, but what are like if you were to go somewhere anywhere, where would you want to go and why? Like,
my dream would be to not work on, but like live on a cruise ship and work from home, if that makes sense. That would be my dream.
okay.
Like do my watch reviews by the pool, do all that stuff, work from my little computer, do what I have to do to make money, and just have all the food I want, all the drinks I want, all the women I want. Every week it'd be a new friggin' group of people. That'd be awesome. We go to port, I can go and do stuff that I have to do, like, physically get more stuff or whatever I might need for that day, and then shoot back on the boat.
Yeah, I had a buddy that I went to high school with, and his, I work with, not his mom, but this lady that I work with, her daughter is best friends with him. John is his name. I haven't seen John in 30 years, high school. And so she's mentioned something about John. I'm like, John, and I'm like, what's he up to or whatever? He was a magician on a cruise line for years. He provided the entertainment.
That's sick. And they have it so good, those people who provide the entertainment on boats. They really do.
And if you knew John, you'd be like, okay, I could totally see you doing that. Like, that would be a really interesting lifestyle for sure. And you'd get to see a heck of a lot of places for sure.
I would have so much fun doing that. And like, I thrive on cruise ships. I know exactly what to do. I know like the ins and outs. There's some secrets that I know about too, that you can like get things that you need. It's like, so for some reason, this is a secret that I found out accidentally. So basically mostly the people who clean the rooms when they're off, because they don't get to leave the boat. When you're off the boat, they get about like 30 minutes to an hour off the boat, but they don't get to like the cruise director and everybody, the activities directors, they can go off and do whatever the frick they want for like hours as long as you're at port. The people who clean don't get to get off as much. So every night when they're off their shift, they gamble. And they use foods you can't get on the boat as money. And the black chips are Doritos. So like the most expensive thing you can have is a bag of Doritos, the red or the orange Doritos.
Yeah.
So I figured this out. So now whenever I go on a cruise, I bring a big thing of the individual packs of Doritos, and I use it as payments to get what I need from the wait staff. So like, I'll be like, hey, I need to get to free. How do I get there as quick as possible? Come with me. And they'll bring me through the staff corridors or like whatever it might be that I need. I want this in my room. I want a bottle of champagne. I'll give you 4 bags of Doritos. Okay. And they'll do whatever you need. It's the best.
They ought to do a Doritos commercial during the Super Bowl about that.
I think if too many people found out, it wouldn't be worth as much. Now that it's like it's a little secret that's like not many people know about.
So tip and Doritos when on a cruise boat.
Yep. Anything that you need, they'll do it for bags of Doritos.
Okay, that's wild.
Yeah.
My wife, she would never go on a cruise boat.
Really?
Yeah, she doesn't like the idea. I suppose if you could see land all the time, then she'd be okay with it. But the idea of being out somewhere and not being able to see anything but sea, absolutely no way. No, she would not do that. So we don't have any cross ocean trips like that in our future on a boat.
That's the best part is when you can't see land, you're just in the middle of nowhere. Anything goes. There's no rules.
Oh my
you
goodness.
just do whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't think I would be bad with that, but for sure, no, I wouldn't be able to get my wife. And my wife kind of is this kind of person that looks at like this monstrosity of a thing and goes, "How is that even floating?"
Valid argument. I don't even know how they float either. They're crazy.
But it's the same with flying. You're just in a tube flying up in these massive engines that.
Flying scares me.
Yeah.
At least on a boat, if it sinks, you got the boat, the rafts that will hopefully get you going where you need to go. Plane, you're fucked. That thing's going down. You might as well just kiss the ground goodbye.
Yeah.
Well,
unless you got Sully Sullenberger as your pilot.
Landed anywhere.
Yeah, we're just gonna go in the Hudson. What?
You seen that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where the plane's going down and his wife calls him?
No.
And she's like, the plane's about to crash. And he's like, I got the cable guy here. I can't talk. You know how hard it is?
Oh, I got it. You know what? That's a show that I love Seinfeld. I love Larry David.
Mm-hmm.
I've never gotten into that show. I've got to get myself into it.
It's the best show. That like the things that happen are just to die for.
Okay,
Funny.
I'm gonna definitely. So speaking of shows, so you love that show. What are the things that you enjoy other than YouTube or whatever? Like what do you enjoy watching? You're dressed up as Tony Soprano today.
I like the
Is that one of your
Sopranos.
favorite shows?
Yeah, it's up there for a favorite show. I like how like realistic they made it. Like every one of the cast members was Italian, so they all brought their sort of family values and their like their beliefs into the show to make it more realistic. Which was kind of nice. So I like that part of it. I've been watching a new show called Jerry Duty. It's fantastic.
Jury duty or Jerry duty?
Jury, like you go into court.
Yeah. Okay.
You ever seen The Office?
I love it. Yeah.
Think of The Office, but if one character from The Office wasn't an actor, he was just a real person thinking he's working in the office, and everything around him is happening, and he has no he just thinks it's real. That's the show. So it's like it's a 18 or 20-day long process of this guy who thinks he's being documented for jury duty, and he's falling in love with these characters who are all actors, and they have their own little side things going on.
My
like
goodness.
The Office, it's filmed in the documentary style, and he's falling in love with these characters who aren't real people, who he thinks are real people.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like, have you ever seen the movie with Bill Murray, The Man Who Knew Too Little?
No.
Watch that one then. I'm pretty sure that's the title. So he thinks he's in this game where he's being not being filmed or anything, but he ends up getting in trouble with like the mob or something, and he thinks like the guy's like, I'm gonna have to blow your brains out. He's like, that was great. That was like because he thinks it's all a setup, but it's not. I'm pretty sure it's called The Man Who Knew Too Little, and I might have just butchered some of the plot line, but it's really if you like jury duty, you'd love that movie, and I love Bill Murray. He's awesome.
I'll check that out. Yeah, dude, it's a great show because it's like things are happening around him, and he's like what the fuck is happening? But like it's to him real, but everyone else is an actor.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
That's a cool premise.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite. Now, are you? My son. It's really funny because just yesterday we were talking, and I'm like, "What are you watching?" He was watching. The second show from. Oh, for goodness sake! Very, very popular. Young Sheldon.
Oh, yeah. I'm not into laugh tracks.
But he was watching it, and I'm like, he's like, yeah, I already watched it. Like, I did when he was sick for a week or something like a while ago. He's like, so what are you watching it again for? He's like, I just watch shows that I've already watched. And I don't know if do you watch a lot of new TV? Because I find myself, I go to my Android box and I watch shows that I've loved for years. There's not too many new shows I'm into, but I love police dramas. So NYPD Blue is one of my all-time favorite shows.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
But newer shows I haven't really found too much interest in. A lot of new shows, but one that I just started watching, which I think because I love Kiefer Sutherland, his new show Rabbit Hole.
Okay.
Is really, really cool.
It's like 24 sort of?
No, not really at all. It's kind of, there's someone that's trying to kind of take over the world through technology and different things. Okay. And he's in the background trying to catch this guy. And, you watch one episode and you think something happens, and then the next episode it didn't happen. It's one of those ones you just can't. Some are so predictable.
Yep.
This one isn't. This is really great.
Good, yeah. I've been watching a police show called Will Trent. It's pretty good.
Oh, haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's like a somewhat kind of comedy, but not really. He's got dyslexia, but to like the worst of it.
Oh.
And so he can't read or write, and he's just a really good detective, but he can't friggin'. So like someone will show him a bit of evidence, and he's like, oh fuck,
Will Trent, it's called.
Will Trent.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll check that out. So what do you? How do you make your bones? What do you do for a living? If you don't mind sharing that online.
Multiple different things. I work at a car dealership, Mondays through Saturdays, pretty much.
Okay.
And then Sunday I work here at the pawn shop. And then I have a couple online stores that I run where I sell watches and watch-related stuff.
Okay. And at the car dealership, are you selling cars? Are you like
I'm a salesman?
You're the salesman?
Car salesman, yeah. Volvo. Good
Volvo.
old Volvo.
Yeah?
Yep.
And so if you could do, like, what would your dream job be? Like the cruise ship thing, or like
cruise ship or YouTube all day, like being a professional YouTuber or something like that, and living on a cruise would be like the dream,
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you enjoy working at the car dealership, or is it just something you do to pay the bills?
It's something I do to pay the bills. I'm not really a car guy per se, and I'm not really an aggressive car salesman. So I'm not the best at being a car salesman. But it's fun, it's a way to make money. They make pretty good money over here, so I can't complain, but I needed a year's worth of sales experience to get any sort of sales job. And that was the only place that would take you with no experience prior. So I took this job so I could move on to a different sales job. But now I try to move on to a different sales job, and they say, we don't want car salesmen. So I'm in this weird place of well, I'm not really a car salesman. I mean, I am, but I
You don't sell the steak, you sell the sizzle.
Exactly. I don't, make it more fun for them. And I do things that probably normal car salesmen don't do. One of my customers needed to take a driving test, right? Because he was out from a different country. So he needed to get his Massachusetts license. And in Massachusetts, to get your driving test, you need a car that has a emergency brake that you can pull.
Okay.
And no cars nowadays have emergency brakes that you can pull. He goes, how am I going to find one of those? I go, here's my keys. Just take my car. Because my car's an older car. He goes, really? I go, yeah, use it. He didn't even buy a car for me yet. So I was like, yeah, just use it for your test. So he returns the car. He goes, well, I guess I have to buy a car from you now. I go, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
So that's kind of a weird law because there's so few cars that are equipped with a manual. The ones in Canada, I don't know about the manufacturing in the States or whatever, but there's the one to the left of the brake pedal.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
You got to reef on it, and then you got to push it again to kind of release it. And if you ever use that one, the cable will break because it's one that's never used, but there's no handle on it or nothing. No,
it has to have the handle for the, God forbid, you're an idiot driver and the instructor has to stop the car. That's why they have that law in place, I guess.
So for the driver instructor, when they're doing the test, they can.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
That's cool. So let me ask you this question. You seem to, and I could be totally wrong here, but you seem to be a guy that would have some very interesting pet peeves.
Ooh. I do have some interesting pet peeves.
Yeah. I want to hear about. I'll share one of mine. Okay.
Tell me.
My kids are forever doing this, and it drives me crazy. Couple things. When they open a cereal box, they don't open. They tear the lid almost right off, and then they never fold the bag over. So every time I go to get something, it's stale.
Oh.
Or when they leave it with 2 flakes in it, and then they put the whole box back in the cupboard. And they're forever doing that. And it really pisses me off.
That's aggravating.
Or they'll put back the milk and it's empty. Or they finish their cold cuts, like a thing of bologna. And they put the empty cold cut package in the fridge.
That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
So what are some of your pet peeves?
Slang, like young people's slang. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like there's some slang where I'm just like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know what you're saying to me.
You
like,
boomer.
That's a big pet peeve, man. Like,
Okay, boomer.
That's gas, lit. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know? Just talk like a human being.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids call me boomer. That's one of the big things.
Yeah. I'm a boomer, even though I'm not.
Boomer, even though I'm not. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a boomer, a young boomer.
Oh, I'm trying to think of what else. But I mean, it's not much different than when we were kids. Some of the things that, you know, we invented some new things, I guess, or reused some words for different meanings. But yeah, I can see what you mean.
That makes sense. Like, my grandfather doesn't know the expression like "that's sick," you know, or like something like that. He doesn't understand. Like, you know, so like you guys came up with "sick," I'm guessing, you know.
Yeah.
Use this a good thing, like, oh, that's sick.
Yeah, that's funny. So I'm trying to think. Like, there's so many that my kids use, and I just keep going, what?
They're getting worse and worse. Like,
what?
TikTok. I hate TikTok. I'll be honest with you. Like, I think that's the dumbest thing in the friggin' world. Like, all my managers are on it, and all the people I work with are on it, and they're just like showing me these videos, and I'm just like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like,
well, they might soon be banning it down there, right? Or
what?
They might soon be banning TikTok in the States or whatever, right? Or
they should. Well, it's like these TikTok stars, that these like 20-year-old girls who think they're hot shit. Like, get over yourself. You're not that interesting. Like, fucking, like, if you weren't hot, no one would give a shit what you have to say. Like, I don't know. You ever listen to like them talk? I think that like, you know, like, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dating, I guess, is a good pet peeve. Like, there's sometimes you go on a date with someone and they're like, basically a moron, 3 brains in.
That's I don't have dating. Like, I married my high school sweetheart, so
You lucked out.
you know, you know, it's been almost 25 years. This September will be 25 years we've been married, and
good for you.
And you know, it is. It's good, but I can't imagine. Like, I had a coworker once, you know, doing the whole.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And I'm like, I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing? And you know, he's using Tinder, and I don't know, other than watching James, he met his wife Naomi on Tinder, which is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, you know, I've heard people like Bill Maher, other you know, commentaries on dating and sex, on, you know, what the phones have really done to relationships. And I'm not like a bar I wouldn't go to a bar to
meet a girl. You can't find good girls anywhere nowadays. I mean, nobody goes to church anymore. No offense, I know you're a church goer, but like, not many people my age go to church, that I know of at least. You can't go to a library. Who the hell goes to a library? Like, you go to a restaurant, maybe you get lucky or something like that. But like, I've noticed that if you go and talk to someone in real life, they don't know what the fuck to do with themselves. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, the other day, this beautiful girl was at the bar. Like, it was a quiet bar. Like, it wasn't like a club bar. It was a nice quiet bar. I go to talk to her, and she's on her phone, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? She looks up. Alien for the first time.
Yeah. Well, even my kids, and I can say this from just my own personal, you know, experience, not with regard to dating and whatnot, but like the phones, like my kid will call me, and I'll go, hello, and they're like, hi, and then just silence.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you called me. What do you want? like, like,
No, yeah,
like,
they don't know how to communicate.
they don't. They absolutely don't. My daughter,
That's
who
why I like cruises. There's no phones on a cruise because you don't get signal.
really, I did
Yeah,
not.
I mean, you can buy the Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi takes like 4 hours for it to do anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So nobody really ends up buying the Wi-Fi. So it's like just you get to meet people on like a human level because no one's going. It's all everyone looking to talk to people because there's no other option. And it's funny because you'll notice too, like when I was in the teen club going back however many years ago, there'd be an awkward silence and everyone would take out their phone except for me because I'm looking around going, they're all taking out their phone, but we all, like, I knew good and well no one was actually doing anything on it because there's nothing you can do. You can't go on anything. You can't text people. You can't. So they're just for that comfort, just taking it out to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter, she's done much better in regards to like the communication piece of being able to carry on a conversation or whatever. Mm-hmm. But my boys, it's like, holy shit. Like, even to get their attention for more than 10 seconds, like you talk about being ADHD, I would probably have suffered with ADD, not the hyperactivity part, but I was definitely attention deficit. Like when I was in grade 4, for example, my teacher kept getting really mad at me because I'd always leave my desk and go talk to whoever, go talk to her, come back to my desk, and I was constantly disrupting class. So I had